Hello again, everybody. We are on to our second lesson. I know it says it's top lesson 3. It is lesson 3 of the chapter, but it is the second lesson of the unit. So I labeled it lesson 3 just so it's not confusing in the book. But it is on the properties of operations. So we are going to be talking about the properties. So let's go ahead over to see what the properties are. First property, and you've learned a lot of these properties in the past. You might remember them, you might not. No big deal either way. We have the commutative property related to someone's commute. So you commute to school, you go to school and come back. It's the same distance, but different directions. Same thing in math. You can, and these only apply to addition and multiplication. So whether you add A or B first, they have the same outcome. 6 plus 1, you can prove it with numbers. 1 plus 6, they're both 7. Same thing with multiplication. The order does not matter. Whether you go 7 times 3 or 3 times 7, they're both 21 in the end. The next most common property is the associative property. Who do you associate with? Who do you group with? It doesn't matter whether you group the 3 and the 8 first or the 2 and the 3 first. In the end, 11 plus 2 is 13. 5 plus 8 is 13. It's the same result. Same thing over here with multiplication. 4 times 5 is 20, times 3 is 60. 3 times 4 is 12, times 5 is 60. So whether or not you are multiplying different groups first, as long as it's all multiplication, the grouping doesn't matter. As long as it's all addition, the grouping does not matter. Now, we have a couple less used properties down here. We have 2 identity properties, one with addition, one with multiplication. If you add 0 to anything, you get that thing back. Your identity is who you are, so you end up with who the number is. Same with numbers. 9 plus 0 is 9. Also, you can apply this property to multiplication. A number times 1 is itself. 5 times 1 is 5, or 1 times 5 is 5. Now, the easiest property to remember is the 0 property. Anything times 0 is 0. If you take 10 things and you make 0 groups of it, you now have nothing, right? If you have 0 groups of anything, you have nothing. So that's where that comes from. You have 0 groups of something, now you have nothing because you have no groups of it. Doesn't matter what it is. Now let's put it to the test. Take a look here. What's happening here? All right, what happened here? We have some addition going on. All right, what changed? The X and the Y position changed. The order changed. So this is the commutative property. Okay. Over here, what happened? We took 3x and added 0 to it and got back where we started. So that's the identity property. We ended where we started. Identity of addition, if you want to be specific, and that's the commutative of addition. All right. Now, if you can prove a property is not true, that's called a counterexample. So notice I didn't say anything about subtraction or division. So let's see what happens. The difference of 2 different whole numbers is always less than both of the 2 numbers. So the difference of 2 different whole numbers is always less than both of the 2 numbers. So let's say we have 10 minus 5 equals 5. Is that less than both the numbers? No. 5 is not less than 5. It is equal to 5, but it is less than 10. So this is false. We just proved it wrong. All right. Lance made 4 phone calls from his phone today. The calls were 4.7, 9.4, 2.3, and 10.6 minutes. Use mental math to find the total amount of time he spent on the phone. So what we can do here is use some mental math to put things together that are easy to add. 0.7 and 0.3 go well together. 4 plus 2 is 6. 0.3 and 0.7 make 1. So that's 7. Boom, boom. 9.4 and 10.6 go well together. 19 and another 1 make 20. So together they make 27 minutes. So we use the properties there to help us do some mental math. Now, we can also use properties to help us simplify. So here, we can move the 2 and the 4 together to make 8. 8 times 3c by 3 cars times 8. 8 groups of 3 cars is 24 cars. You can do this with addition as well. Up here, 5 and